as you wish. So David crept forward, and he cut off a piece of the hem of Saul's robe. While he's relieving himself, this is quite the story. Verse 5, but then David's conscience began to bother him because he had cut Saul's robe. He said to his men, the Lord forbid that I should do this to my lord the king. Now catch this. Saul had been trying to kill David because of jealousy. He had been pursuing him. He had been hunting him. He had made him his focal point. He wanted to destroy David. And now, the tables had completely turned. And Saul unknowingly was completely within the hand of David, whether he was to slay him or whether he was to allow him to live. Somebody pursuing us, desiring to have you undone, desiring to come against you, to cause you trouble, and you get a chance to blindside them and get even, right? David's expressing something here. The Lord forbid that I should do this to my lord the king. I shouldn't attack the Lord's anointed. For the Lord himself has chosen it. When you fight the Lord's anointed, you're going to be fighting God. David restrained his men, and he did not let them kill Saul. And after Saul had left the cave and gone on his way, David came out and he shouted after him, my lord the king. And when Saul looked around and he saw David bowed low before him, so he could have killed him, and now he's bowing before the one that's trying to kill him. His enemy. You want to see victory in the conflict between different ideas people have about things going on in this community, in this town? We do it God's way. His way always is victorious. Always. David came out and shouted after him, my lord the king. And when Saul looked around, David bowed low before him, and then he shouted to Saul, why do you listen to the people who say I'm trying to harm you? This very day you can see with your own eyes it's true, for the Lord placed you at my mercy back there in the cave. Some of the men told me to kill you, but I spared you, for I said, I will never harm the king. He is the Lord's anointed one. Look, my father, at what I have in my hand. It's a piece of the hem of your robe. I cut it off, but I didn't kill you. This proves that I am not trying to harm you, and that I have not sinned against you, even though you have been hunting me and trying to kill me. This is not a small thing here. Probably everyone in this room has been harmed by another human being in some way. Today, yesterday, this week, in your life in general. And the Bible gives us a hard lesson. We don't return evil for evil. We love. We spare. As freely as we have received grace and mercy. I don't know about you, but I didn't pay anything for any of the mercy and grace that I got. I got mine for free, and he said, as freely as you've received, you give. We all got to lay stuff down here today. The community's not done coming at us.
Never will.
But that's okay. We're going to love the devil out of it. Right, Larry?
Love the hell out of them.
Love the hell out of them. I like that one too. That sounds good. That's got a ring to it. Maybe we should put that sign in the window. Love the hell out of them. That's good for a church, yeah? Yeah. Someone's going to do it now, Thomas, right? Yeah. I've got a hunch it'll be a big one. So then he goes on. And he goes, may the Lord judge between us. Perhaps the Lord will punish you for what you're trying to do to me, but I will never harm you. Check out what David's saying. He's saying, this isn't between you and me. This is between you and God. He turns the table. The things that come at us is not between the person bringing it to us and them. It's between them and God. Are you his kids? Then if someone comes at his kids, it's between the person coming at his kids and the Father. You bear the image of the Creator. When you look in the mirror, you're looking at the image of God. When you breathe, you're breathing the life, the Ruach, the Spirit of God that He placed in you.
Still you. You again. It's always you.
Nobody can contend with you without contending with God. Don't fight a spiritual battle in a human manner. It's not a good idea. There were some exorcists in Acts chapter 19, and they decided to go fight a spiritual battle with their humanity. They walk in and they're going, well, we're exorcists too. We can cast out evil. Remember the story? The demons spoke through the people that they were possessing. And they looked at those exorcists and they said, we know Jesus, and we know Paul. Who the heck are you? And those exorcists came out of the house naked and bleeding. And the demons were still intact. Don't be fighting spiritual battles in a human manner. And they're all spiritual battles, for the record. They are all 100% spiritual battles. May the Lord judge between us. Verse 13, it says, as the old proverb says, from evil people come evil deeds. So you can be sure I will never harm you. Who is the king of Israel trying to catch anyway? Should he spend his time chasing one who is as worthless as a dead dog or a single flea? David speaking of himself, he's bringing it down. He's going, who am I, man? I'm just some guy that's running here and there. I don't even have a house. I'm going from cave to cave. I don't have any place to even get a footing. I don't have a place to get any kind of a substantial fortress to work from. I'm just going from place to place, man. Who am I? I'm a flea. The king and his palace and his fortified city and all of his 3,000 men that he sent out here and all the thousands else he had, and he's the vulnerable one while he's relieving himself? How can it be? Saul walked into the wrong cave, I guess. In Missouri, when I was a child and I'd go see my family, a lot of them still had outhouses. Not joking. And they told me when you go out there, you take something and go around the rim underneath because there's spiders that you don't want getting a hold of your rear end. Snakes or whatever. You pay attention. Saul wasn't paying attention.
His guards weren't paying attention.
They weren't paying attention either. No. Who's the king trying to catch anyway? Should he spend his time chasing one who is worthless as a dead dog or a single flea? May the Lord therefore judge which of us is right and punish the guilty one. He is my advocate, and he will rescue me from your power.
Amen.
Who's your advocate? The enemy that wants to get you to pay evil for evil, insult for insult. If you ever think he's your advocate, you're going to have a life that goes from trouble to trouble to trouble to trouble to trouble. The only problem with that course of trouble is you'll never have peace, and you'll never have somebody in your corner because you're looking to the wrong person to advocate for you. But when you live by the principles that Peter is sharing here, right? You have a true advocate. You have the source of life, the very existence of all things, advocating for you. Do you think if somebody needs punishment that a God of the universe could do that on your behalf? And by the way, often the way he judges, and this is really fascinating to watch, we just get anxious and we don't want to wait for his timing. We want things to happen really fast. The worst thing God can give a person is their own desire. And let them have the consequence of it. Judgment of God isn't something where he stands and he goes, Ted, you're a sheep, and Dale, you're a goat. And, you know, I mean, there's a story so that we can understand these things. The reality is that he goes, Ted, what do you want, man? I place before you life, and I place before you death. What do you want? And Ted goes, I want life. All right. That's the judgment of God. Simply affirms your choice. That's all it is. It's an affirmation of your choice. Do I want to be the devil in the neighborhood, or do I want to love the devil out of the neighborhood? Right? Do I want to pee on fences, or do I want to ask if I can paint them for somebody? Let's paint fences. Let's pick up trash. Let's love people. Let's respect them. Even when they don't respect us. Especially, let me read that one. I didn't say it right. Especially when they don't respect you, you respect them. Told you it's a hard teaching today, man. It's a hard teaching. But I know from every part of my being that it is the correct teaching. It's the one from God. And I don't want to hear about conflict amongst the body here. And that includes all of our friends in the park, because they're part of our family too. You can't be having conflict, guys. You can't have people punching each other in the face, because then the enemy wins. You can't have people stealing each other's bicycle parts. Then the enemy wins. What does that have to do with the teachings of the one who will advocate for you? Who will ultimately win the battle, because he won the most important one already. And we're just waiting for that to get fully wrapped up. Do no harm. Every footprint should be a positive impression that you leave behind. Let's not make roads out of negative things. Right? Rather than leaving a trail of trash, let's leave a trail of blessing.
Amen.
Can we do that? Come on, look around. This is an awesome family. You guys love your family here? Anybody here? And I will advocate for you even when you screw up, all right? Because God's advocating for me when I screw up, but let's try to limit the screwing up. Can we do that? Because I'm kind of tired sometimes. I want a couple people to lead us in prayer today, and only if God's telling you you're the one, all right? But it's not me, I know that.
Let's consider the walls of Jericho. Many prayers and the sound of the shofar was what knocked down that wall.
That's right. And then we'll sing some songs too, but I kind of feel like praying needs to happen. So we may need drums with prayer too, though, Bailey. No, come on, come on.
I'm a quick prayer.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought we were done. I thought we were, I was about ready to
Heavenly Father, we gather here today. Let's just go through and we fulfill your destiny for us. Open our hearts to each other and needs of one another. Hold us together strong in the turmoil the church is going through. That we may prosper and the light that you have decided on truly shine when people look. Bless each and every single one of the teachings of this church. And it inspire us to further our destiny in Christ. In Christ Almighty, amen.
Amen. So sing, and then those of you that want to go down to the park with Matt and have some more time of praying, I hope there's a big old mob of you, all right? And then there's a few of us that have to do like church business things and all that. Yeah.
I got an announcement.
Yeah.
The Walking Center is open tonight.
Yeah.
At the First Presbyterian Church, 770 Seneca Street.
And Ken, I've been hearing a rumor about, since we can't serve food under the bridge, something about arches. Is that true or false?
That's true.
True. Okay, so meals will be served over out in the arches parking lot?
Yeah.
Okay. At the normal times that it would happen under the bridge, all right? Awesome.
Is that starting? Is that starting?
Ken.
Okay.
Empty house for garbage, is there anything else you can say about
Starting on Tuesday, not tonight.
There is a meeting under the bridge tonight.
Okay.
And tomorrow night.
Is it under
Very.
All right. All right. A bunch of you are going to go pray today. A few of us are going to go do icky stuff or whatever. But, so, anyway. All right.